And now we want to speak to our new suspect, Liam Hurtley. So do that.
Please escort this suspect for interrogation. Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Sherlock Holmes. I would like to ask you a few questions.
I've already told the police that I've nothing to say. And you're not even part of the police.
Precisely. And considering your situation, it might be wise to speak with someone who is, shall we say, rather more neutral. You are a suspect in a murder case.
I wouldn't call him more neutral.
Inspector Lestrade told me. It's ridiculous.
Could you at least tell me who you are, and exactly what happened that you should be brought here?
My name is Liam Hurtley. That I can tell you. But you're not getting any more than that.
Well, we shall see.
Alright, and now we have another opportunity for a character portrait. So I'll take you through how we do that one. Okay, so RB to move along. And the first thing we can do is a scar on his neck. And continue on again. Next thing we've got is the handkerchief there. Click on that. It's a crested tit. We've seen one of them somewhere before. Next thing we've got is his knee here. He's got plant remains. And then the next one is his hands, and that'll complete the character portrait. Gardener's hands. Where have we seen a garden?
All for now.
Okay, so that's all for that part. And we've completed his character portrait, and now we need to travel back to Baker Street. So get to the map and Baker Street. Alright, if you remember, we picked up a letter that we couldn't read and we needed chemicals to help us solve this situation. Over here in the corner to the left of the window is what's called Sherlock's analysis table, and it gives us the option to recover Hurtley's letter, so we're going to do that.
I need to prepare a chemical agent that is capable of removing fresh ink. For this purpose, the chemicals from the flasks should be combined in a certain order to perform a chain reaction. First condition, all 7 reagents should be used. Second condition, orange reagent should be the third one in the sequence after the blue reagent. Third condition, colorless reagent should be added after the orange reagent.
Okay, so that was basically explaining the 3 different rules in terms of how we pass this minigame. So it is another minigame or puzzle that we cannot skip due to the achievements as previously mentioned. And what we have to do is we have to use all 7 of these tubes and pour them one at a time into this flask in the correct order. Now, we know that if we use a blue one, well, what we do know is we can't use orange because it has to be the third after a blue. So we can't use that. And we can't use a clear or a colorless because that has to go immediately after an orange. So it can't go before. So that leaves us with blue or green. Now, if we use blue, we have to use another color after that, but it can't be orange and it can't be colorless. So it would have to be green. So we can. That means we know we have to start with blue. And we can't use a orange or a colorless, as we said. So the next one has to be green. Pop that in. And now we still can't use orange or colorless, so we can use a blue now. Pop that in. And now we're up to our third one since our first blue, so we know we need orange. And rule number 3 is it must be colorless after orange. So we use that one. And now all of a sudden it's our third one after the second blue, so we need orange again. Oop, get in there. And obviously the last one remaining is colorless, which goes after orange anyway. So pop that in.
Done. Now I can proceed further.
Okay, just so you're all aware, I'll just go over the
Let
colour.
us see if the content of this letter sheds a little light upon the mystery.
I'll go over the colour sequence again. It was blue, green, blue, orange, colourless, orange, colourless. Simple. Now what you do is you just hold A and then you move the cloth left and right or up and down. You just need to clear off the paper, clear the ink off the paper as best you can. I like to do it that way. And then when you've got enough off, what you need, make sure you just let go of A,
I did as you asked,
and there you go.
hid them well. Interesting. How would Hurtley react to this?
All right, now head over to our tasks. Doesn't really tell us, but what we do know is that we picked up, not only did we pick up the letter from Hurtley's evidence, but we also picked up his boots. So we need to head back to the crime scene and check his boots against the footprints. Okay, so head straight to the footprints. You could also examine the garden again here if you haven't already. Alright, examine the prints with the boot. Drag the boot down onto the print.
These boots match the footprints exactly.
Okay, so we found our match for the footprints. While we're here, we want to go up and talk to Mrs. Carey again. We could be asking her about the garden and about maybe about Hurtley if she knows who that is. So let's have a chat. Alright.
The garden is very large and well maintained. Do you employ someone to look after it?
It is true, there is a lot of work, but my husband took care of it himself.
Does the name Liam Hurtley mean anything to you?
No, I don't know anyone by that name.
Thank you, madam.
Was she being honest? And now we have enough information to do another deduction, so let's go into there. And what we want to match now is the fact that there's footprints in the garden that belong to Hurtley, and the fact that Mrs. Carey says they don't have a gardener, even though Hurtley himself had gardener's hands and had grass on his knees. And that opens up this deduction, and it's unexplained presence. Liam Hurtley's boots match the footprints at Woodman's Lee, thus proving that he was there. Judith Carey denies that he was there. He was their gardener. Okay, confirm that. And now we can exit back out, and we want to travel back to Scotland Yard. Scotland Yard. I think we need to have a chat to Mr. Hurtley. Alright, here we are, and the first thing we want to do is we want to go straight out to the cells and talk to Hurtley in the interrogation room. We may have to grab him from the cell again. Yep, here he is, so talk to him again.
Please escort this suspect for interrogation.
Now you're going to need to be ready for 3 separate QTEs in this one. This is another one where an achievement may end up popping for me sooner than it does for you guys, just because I've already played the game and I've done a few of these already before we started this, and I didn't know how to erase the history for that particular achievement. So let's go into here.
Tell me, Mr. Hurtley, what were you doing at Woodman's Lee?
Woodman's Lee? I've never been there.
Alright, so we know obviously that he's not telling the truth, and the reason we know that is because Hurtley's boots match. Obviously they've got that trick one there, but they do. So let's click on that.
The second pair of boots that you had with you when you were arrested perfectly match the footprints found near the cabin where Peter Carey was murdered.
Footprints? That's your proof? How many men have boots like mine? That doesn't make me a murderer.
Alright. Keep questioning.
Now that your presence at Woodman's Lee...
Ready for
has been
QTE
proven,
again.
Would you care to explain it?
I don't remember. What would I be doing there anyway?
And there we go. So there's another one. And we have reason to believe that he's the gardener there.
Because you are the gardener at Woodman's Lee.
I'm not. How did you...
I observed your hands. They told me that you work with the earth. Small fragments of plants snagged to your trousers indicate that you were mowing very recently. But the most obvious clue presented itself in the bird embroidered on your handkerchief. A crested tit, if I'm not mistaken.
All right, you got me. Yes, I am a gardener, and I went there to get my tools.
What did you hide?
So tell me, Mr. Hurtley, what did you hide?
Hide? What are you talking about?
So that's a reference to the letter that we've read. He doesn't think we have because he thinks it's ruined, but the letter did say that he managed to hide something. So we'll use the letter as our rebuttal.
I did as you asked and hid them well. Should I continue?
My letter? But the ink? That's impossible.
A touch of chemistry, nothing special.
Well, you're a smart one, but it's nothing. If you want to know, I was referring to my tools. It was to do with my work, see?
I will check that, Mr. Hurtley. That's all for now. Hurtley's stories are false leads, but now I know one thing for certain. I must examine the site where the garden tools are kept at Woodman's Lee.
Alright, so that Hurtley's a slippery customer, isn't he? But we know now that we need to go and examine where he keeps his tools. So back to the murder scene once again. Okay, so the first step of that is to go and speak to Mrs. Carey again and ask about the gardening tools. I'm not sure if we do it at this point, but I'd also like to ask her why she lied about not knowing Mr. Hurtley. So let's have a chat to her.
Madam, we have information that the valuable stolen papers are hidden amongst the garden tools here at Woodman's Lee. We need to find them.
Oh my. Our tools are kept inside the shed that's right behind me. Here is the key to open it.
Thank you, madam.
Alright, so it's in this shed behind her. And we've got the key now. So let's go open this door. And inside we go.
Let's see what could be hidden here.
If we look down on the floor, and it's giving us the prompt, it's definitely hold your hand this game. Hold RB to investigate the floor. You can see a loose plank. And we're going to examine that. Lift it up. And there's a box beneath that, so grab that. And we're going to try and open it, and this is going to give us another small mini game.
In this box.
Alright, so basically we need to rotate the different parts of this mechanism to line up all the lines so they match and unlock the box. So I'll just show you how we're going to do that. The first thing we're going to do is we need to go right, and this is to part 2, and we can use the right stick to then rotate that. And what we want to do is we want to match up the lines. It'll make more sense once we go to the right again to part 3, and we'll rotate that as well. Okay, so we want to put that one there, go back to part 2 because I got it a little bit wrong, and line that up, and that's it. Simple as that. So we'll open the box. and take the letters.
A bundle of letters in a woman's hand with the Carey family monogram. Hurtley and Mrs. Carey were in a relationship. That is interesting.
Okay, if you want to have a read at that, I'll leave it there. Pause the video if you want to read that, and I'll go to page 2. And pause the video if you want to read that one. Alright. Now we have more ammunition to question Mrs. Carey again about her lies. So we'll go back and we'll talk to her and be ready for a QTE, okay?
Madam, I am aware of your affinity with Liam Hurtley.
Oh, what are you talking about?
X, quickly. And it's the romantic correspondence that we've just discovered, okay?
Mrs. Carey, we found your letters.
My letters? I asked Liam to return them to me. I wanted to burn them.
Why did Mr. Hurtley put them inside the garden shed?
I don't know. I wanted them back, but I couldn't see him, not after what happened.
Well, here they are.
Oh, this is terrible. Terrible. Liam, how could he? After what he has done.
You believe that he killed your husband?
No, I do not know. I do not know. Leave me alone, please.
Thank you, madam. I wonder if Wiggins has managed to find any sailors.
Alright, so that gives us another clue. But before we do that, we've got another deduction that we can make. So press Y. She's confessed, so that's part of what we need to match up. And out of the remaining things, Liam Hurtley's letter would match what she's saying. So we'll match that up. Go into this deduction. Harmless flirting, apparently. I'm pretty sure it's a little bit more than that, but let's click on there. Hurtley's innocence this points towards. Hurtley's presence at Woodman's Lee on the night of the murder is explained by his affection toward Judith Carey and the fact that he worked there as a gardener. I would have thought that would give him a motive, but anyway, click that one in for now. And if we go back to the clues, we've got Judith Carey's confession again, and this time we can link it to her letter, Judith Carey's letter, and we've still got the non-smoker clue there that we cannot link, so we haven't got anything to link that to just yet. And into this deduction as well. Now, is it harmless flirting or desperate jealousy? So that would give him a motive, wouldn't it? Okay, we'll just click on that one for now. As we know, it doesn't really matter at this stage. And this gives us another option to look at. Hurtley's motive or Hurtley's innocence? Well, for now, he's got a motive. But we've got two suspects really now. Alright, and that's all we can do for now. And if you heard Sherlock just before, he mentioned Wiggins. So we might need to go and check on him. They definitely give us a lot of hints, don't they? But off to Baker Street.
Mr. Holmes, we found the sailors from that list you gave us.
Well done, Wiggins. Let me see.
Alright, so we've got this list, and the only thing that we have that matches anything else is that we've got a Patrick Cairns, and he's a harpooner, and he's alive, so we've got another harpooner here, and his initials are PC and some of those, but Pablo died a week ago, so he's no use to us, but this harpooner is, so we're going to click on him.
This man is a harpooner, and his initials are PC, the same initials that were found on the tobacco pouch. Wiggins, could you gather some information on one of the sailors that you found? His name is Patrick Cairns.
We found Patrick Cairns.
Good job, Wiggins. Where is he?
He lives in a small furnished dump of a room, but he's always at the Sea Witch pub, where he does arm wrestles for money and drinks.
Excellent. Here is your reward. 2 guineas.
Thank you, sir.
Alright, and now we can make another deduction. Something we've been waiting for a while. We've got Peter Carey being a non-smoker and someone with the initials PC, which were found on the tobacco pouch. Link those. Alright, and that's going to give us another deduction, which is a task. We need to look into Patrick Cairns. If the pouch belongs to him, it indicates his presence at the crime scene, but it must still be proven. Alright, so that's our job.
If I wish to speak to Cairns without alarming him, I had better dress as a sailor.
And yet another hint that we need to dress as a sailor. So back to our wardrobe. And you may have noticed before, we have a sailor's outfit here. There it is. So select that.
Now I can approach Cairns and see if he recognizes the pouch.
Alright, so back to our map, and you'll see now we have the option to go to the Sea Witch pub. So let's go there. Alright, so here we are at the pub. If we walk down the back here, you'll find Patrick Cairns, and we're going to talk to him.
Hello there. Are you Cairns?
What do you want?
We've heard all about the gambling and arm wrestling here. You seem like the likely sort, and I'm up for it.
I start at 10 shillings.
Suits me.
Alright, so here we have the little mini game that's arm wrestling. I may have mentioned it at the start of the case that number one, it's part of the mini games and things like that. So if we can get through it without skipping, we should. But we don't necessarily have to if you have a bit of trouble with it, because the first time through this game I definitely had a lot of trouble with this one. I'm going to give it one go, but if we can't pass it, we're going to skip it. Okay, so let's go. So we need to tap A as fast as we can to push. When he frowns like that, we press RT to restrain. There we go. A. Oh, he's beating me again. Oh, come on, get him down. And I'm running out of stamina, so I need to restrain anyway. Hey, come on. Yeah, see, he's got me covered. Alrighty, we're going to have to call that a video. We are going to continue case 1 very shortly, but for now, I'd like to thank you all very much for watching. If you've enjoyed it, please remember to give me a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. It will help out a lot, and I will catch you all next time.